Hi everyone, it's me, your friend Markus, the man from Mars. And today we're going to tackle something that I really enjoy, entry-level digital pianos, portable ones specifically. We're going to try to talk about things that'll help you demystify sifting through all of these products. We're not going to use much technical jargon at all. We're just going to keep it real and talk about it from a player's, learner's, musician's perspective. We're going to confine things to products that are about $1,000 Canadian or less. Are you interested? Well, please stick around. Also, thanks so much for your comments, for your likes, your shares, and if you haven't already, I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe. After all, I couldn't and I wouldn't do this without you, so let's get talking. Okay, so let's get right into it. Portable digital pianos. What makes a digital piano different from a keyboard? Well, it's in the keys, not the number, but the feeling. When the piano was originally invented over 300 years ago by Cristofori Bartolomeo, it only had about half as many keys, roughly, as today's common figure of 88. Mozart, and he did all right, he didn't have an 88-key piano, and not even Beethoven. So it's not the number of keys that makes a piano special or different from a keyboard, but it's the feeling. Keyboards tend to have little springs and you hit it and it jumps back up. A piano, and it's not weighted, it's what's called hammer action. So I never use the term weighted when it comes to a digital piano, it's meaningless. If something is a digital piano, it needs to have hammer action keys. A traditional acoustic piano will have long wooden keys, and you'll have your lever, and when you hit that, there's a hammer tipped with felt, and that's going to hit those big metal strings and make a sound. A digital piano doesn't have the need for that, but we still have keys. The keys are typically attached to a hammer underneath, and that hammer is going to hit a multi-layer felt pad. And that's how a digital piano starts to feel a good amount like a traditional piano. Let's also be honest here. Is there a $2,000 or under digital piano that feels like a good acoustic piano? Of course not. Truthfully, not even that close. You have to go up quite a bit to get what I would call an action that feels quite a bit more like a good traditional piano. But pretty good, and good enough for $1,000 and under? Absolutely. We just don't want to be putting out incorrect information here. So a digital piano has a key action, a hammer action, with an actual hammer attached to the key hitting felts that makes it feel quite a bit like you're playing on a traditional piano. So it's not the number of keys that makes something a digital piano, it's the mechanical action, the movement of the keys that makes a digital piano. In my opinion, keys are the most important thing, because this is how I interface, this is how I connect, this is how I communicate my musical desires to the piano. That's how I'm going to express myself musically. How soft, how loud, how many dynamics can I bring in, control, and if I'm trying to play a fast passage, well, I sometimes do and sometimes it works. Those keys need to move very precisely in order for me to play that accurately. So a good key action is very, very important. How can you try it over the internet? Well, you can't. And this is a shameless plug. You're going to want to come into a store like Mars Music where they have quite a few different products so you can try them out. Try out the Casio, try the Roland, try the Yamaha, try the Alesis, try the Korg, and see what you like. Here's the key. Not all pianos, not even all good expensive pianos, feel the same. Different brands have different actions. So once we have a hammer action, it's going to come down to personal preference. Which one do you like? You'll find some keys, for example, Casio right now, really simulates the ebony and ivory kind of feel that you might experience on a 100-year-old piano that you might have had in the home growing up. Whereas I find Yamaha, to contrast, those key tops feel in the starter models quite smooth, and it looks like something brand new sitting on the showroom floor. And other companies have different takes on this too. Again, the key is personal preference. When I try a new digital piano, I just put my fingers on the keys, and before I even press it, I'm like, okay, does this feel like a piano that I know? I might even try it without it being turned on just to feel the keys. So keys, very important. Now, you're realistically going to get an 88 key because 88 has become the common number today, and there's not a great selection typically, especially entry level from good manufacturers of products with less than 88 keys. So get an 88 key digital piano because that's what's typically out there. But again, be concerned more about the hammer action, and don't let anybody try to sell you something weighted or semi-weighted. That's just nonsense terminology. Something is either hammer action, and then it's going to be feeling like a piano, or it's not hammer action, and it could just be a keyboard key with some weights. We don't want that. That's not a digital piano. That's something I don't know who it's for. So after the key action, then we have the sound. To me, the sound is only important after the keys because the only way that I can make sound is by playing the keys. Now, do all traditional pianos sound the same? Absolutely not. The keys aren't all the same, the sound isn't quite the same, and in fact, traditional pianos can vary quite a bit in sound. So again, that's why there's no sound video even attached to this particular YouTube video. I find them useless. How you play and how I play. If I cook food in a frying pan for you, that's not going to help you really determine what the food that you're going to cook in that frying pan is going to taste like. That can only show you some of the basics about the frying pan. But you need to experience it. So that digital piano, how it's going to sound when you're playing it, how are you going to be able to express yourself? Do the dynamic works, can I play? Do the dynamics really allow me to play soft and hard in transition? Is it the right kind of sound? When I play a bit harder, does it get brighter? What do you like? And this is exactly what you need to figure out. When you're buying that portable digital piano, or really, even if it's not portable, you're going to want to try it. You need to be in that space with that piano, have the speakers, forget about a sound test on the internet, and just play the instrument, and then play another instrument. If you're going to need to play it with headphones, well, then bring along some headphones or ask for some headphones and try it with headphones, because it's very important to try these instruments very close to how you're going to be using them in the home. So we have sound, which is subjective. We have preferred key action, which is still kind of subjective. So the best way to figure it out is to try the instrument itself. Now, what about other features? Some of you might want to layer two sounds together. Maybe you want to be able to have piano and strings. Many of the products have that, not all. Maybe you're going to want to be able to split the keyboard. Maybe you want to have a bass sound on the left hand and a piano sound on the right, and you can sound like a jazz duo all by yourself. Maybe you want to hook it up to a computer or tablet for learning or recording software. So you're going to want a MIDI port or a MIDI to USB interface already built in. Maybe you need to transpose. Just about all digital pianos have the transpose feature. So what that allows you to do is to play, let's say, in an easy key, like C, all the white keys, but then to match a song or recording, that would have a lot of flats or sharps, the black keys. So it's kind of like a capo on guitar. You can shift up or down electronically. It can be really handy. That's another feature. If you need to play with headphones, basically every good digital piano is going to allow you to play with headphones, but not all digital pianos, especially in that $1,000 and under range, will allow you to plug into an outboard amplifier or PA system. So if you need that, your instrument should really have a line out rather than just the headphone out. So these are some of the common features. And finally, which additional sounds do you want? Some people prefer to use really just the piano sound. It's just a piano substitute. And some folks really I want electric pianos, organs, strings, synthesizer sounds, harpsichord sounds, who knows what kind of sounds. So again, depending on the sound that you want, you'll want to see if that keyboard has if that portable digital piano has any of the sounds that you're looking for beyond piano. But you'll typically find in most cases, especially under $1,000, the piano sound is probably going to be the best sound the instrument has, and maybe some of the strings in electric pianos are okay. But a lot of the time, if you find that you need dozens or hundreds of sounds that are all really good quality too, you might end up being in a higher price category. Again, trying out the product is the only way to be sure. The final thing I want to talk about is pedals. Traditional pianos typically have 2 or 3 foot pedals. The most common one that people worry about on a digital piano is the so-called damper or sustain pedal. It's the one that when you press it, that makes the sound kind of have that nice ringing on sound where it keeps on sustaining. Virtually every good quality digital piano will allow you to have at least the one pedal, typically the sustain pedal, and in many cases you can get a second and sometimes even a third. So if you're playing certain types of music where you want the 2 pedals, the soft and the sustain, or if in fact you need all 3 pedals like on a typical grand piano, you're going to want to note that in your shopping. Now the truth is a lot of people end up getting by simply with the sustain pedal and they never end up needing the second or especially the third pedal. Most people don't even know what it's called and what it does. So what do you think? I hope this discussion has been useful, this conversation talking about some of the things that pertain to portable digital pianos. There are some amazing products out there between $5.99, let's say, and $10.99. I think there are better choices than we've ever had in the 27 years that I've done this. Roland, Yamaha, Korg, Alesis, Casio. There are some great options in these highly portable, great sounding, great feeling, and it's hard to believe it's entry level. I feel like the entry level stuff today sounds so much better than the mid-range stuff did 5 or 10 years ago, and better than anything we had 15 or 20 years ago, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions. So I hope this is useful. If you have more questions, please, any comments, thoughts, questions, please contact me through the store, through the website, through the YouTube channel. And again, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate every single comment and share and like. And thank you for subscribing if you already have, and if you haven't, please do. I would absolutely love it if you did. After all, the man from Mars couldn't and wouldn't do this without you. So I'm Markus, the man from Mars. Thanks for tuning in, and see you again soon.